All right. Welcome, believe it or not, to week 3 of 5 for the course. That means technically somewhere in the middle of this coming week, we have the midpoint of the course. So we are almost halfway there, believe it or not. So, as always, I want to take a few minutes just to go through in a little more detail the topics and activities for this particular class meeting. The focus for this class in terms of production is going to be on instructional video. We have now talked about graphics, we have talked about audio, so now we're going to add video into the mix. In terms of that, there's going to be some reading, there's going to be a small group activity. There will not be a production forum for this particular class because this class is going to get paired with the next one, which is going to focus on animation. And then once we've gone through both video and animation, there will be one production forum that will involve both of those things, and you'll get to choose which one you want to pursue. So there will not be a production forum for this particular class. In terms of our Moodles, we're going to be looking at a Moodle wiki activity, and that is actually going to be in the context of looking at and analyzing some instructional videos. But as always, if the wiki activity looks like something useful for your Moodle, you can feel free to add it in. And phase 3 of the technology integration plans will be coming out for this week, since we are now into week 3, and I will go over a little bit related to that. Before I go any further, I do want to point out, and I did put this message right on the Moodle page, that I am going to be online on WebEx on Friday, just as an open kind of office hours moment. If you have questions or concerns or anything you would like to talk to me about, feel free to drop by between 6:30 and 7:30 on that Friday through WebEx. It is not required. If you are in good shape and don't really have any questions, then you do not need to come by, but I would like to make myself available in that way since we are basically halfway through the course, and just in case anybody has any questions that they would like to ask as we move forward. So that will be on Friday between 6:30 and 7:30. All right, so let's take a little bit closer look at the activities for this week. In terms of video, there is a brief introductory article that you can take a look at. It covers some basic concepts, ideas related to video, and particularly instructional video, in terms of how to make those videos effective and work with your students. So take a moment to look through that article. Then, in small groups, you are going to be working through a wiki activity in Moodle where your group is going to be analyzing a couple of instructional videos, analyzing them for strengths, for weaknesses, making some suggestions for how to improve them. And the two groups are laid out here with 7 people in the class. It's of course an uneven division, but that's just the way it is. It should be fine. So group 1, Laura, Corella, Anthony, and Madison, and in group 2, Katie, Lauren, and Brent. In terms of the actual activity, the wiki activity, all the instructions are laid out here. If you want to learn more about the Moodle wiki activity, I do give you a couple of links to the Moodle instructional pages. Basically, a wiki allows either you as the teacher or allows your students on your Moodle page to basically create a little sub set of web pages. The series of pages can have any content added to them, videos, text, anything at all. And you also add navigation to them. So you can add links from one of your subpages to another one. There's a process where when you're editing a given page, you put double square brackets around either side of a text, and then that will create a link, or if the page doesn't exist yet, we'll actually create a new subpage that then you can go in and add more content to. So we're going to use this framework to analyze these videos. As I said, read the article. Then in your group, have everybody watch both instructional videos. And then you're going to need to have a group discussion. I have provided 2 Moodle chat rooms, which you may certainly use. Or if there is another way that your group would like to meet with each other, you could use Zoom or any other kind of meeting software like that. Or I suppose even do it via email. But find some way where your group can have a discussion about the 2 videos. And then on your group's wiki page, you're going to create 3 subpages: strengths, weaknesses, and suggestions. And on each of those pages, you are going to put some content about the two videos that your group is analyzing. So for example, group one, here is the page for you. Here are the two videos that you're going to look at. And then you will go and edit this page. And down here where it says links to analysis pages, you will add in the new links to your new pages and put your content on those pages. So again, this is dealing with two goals at once. You are going to be analyzing instructional videos, but you will also be learning how to use a Moodle Wiki activity. And then like here's a link that I've put in that takes you back to the main instructions page, and you'll be doing that on your sub pages as well. So follow through in the instructions with your groups, and take a look at those instructional videos and provide your analysis on these wiki pages. So that is the main activity in terms of video. As I said, you are not going to be creating a video, doing a production form for this class. It's just going to be doing the analysis at this point. There is a new discussion forum for this week. The topic is about synchronous and asynchronous instruction. There's just some guiding questions there. There is an article if you want to take a look at a quick overview article about those two terms. I think at this point, most of us are relatively familiar with what they mean, but if you want a little brush up, certainly take a moment to look at the article. And then the final thing for this class is starting to look at phase 3 of the technology integration plans. The main focus on this is on the hardware and software. So if you've identified a problem and you are looking for technology to help address that problem, this is the class where you will be figuring out what that technology is. So you've got your goal. You're going to be taking a look at whether you are doing a hardware, software, or some sort of blended solution between the two. You're going to be looking for possible technology that will solve your problem. So if you're looking for, say, communications tool for your students and teachers to use, then you're going to do some time exploring and trying to locate various pieces of software or hardware that would address the problem. You're going to summarize the ones that you found and sort of how they work. And then from those choices, you're going to be trying to select one that is the choice that you think is going to be the best fit for moving forward. Remember, as I say here, technology must fit the need, not the other way around. So it's really easy to get distracted by lots of features and additional things that technology can do. Try to stay focused on the need you're trying to address, and find the solution that's going to fix that particular need. So the overview is there. Now, I know some of you are focusing on TIP plans that are more focused on training as opposed to software and hardware. If that's the case, it's fine. Use this week to simply describe the hardware or the software or both that you're going to be training your students or training your target audience in. So you're not going to need to look up various options and assess them for how well they work. Use this week just to describe the technology that you're going to be training your target audience with, and then just adjust your write-up accordingly. The main focus of yours will come next week when we're talking more about the training side of things. All right, and as always, you will be putting that together as a document and submitting it to this task. And you've got the week, roughly the week to work on that. And that basically is the scope of this week's class. So a little bit of video, reading about video, assessing a couple of videos in small groups, getting familiar with the wiki activity, putting your write-ups there, participate in the discussion forum, and starting to work on phase 3 of your TIP projects. And that is basically that until Friday when 3B is available. And again, on Friday from 6:30 to 7:30, I will also make myself available on WebEx. as an optional drop in if anybody feels the need to come in and talk about any concerns or questions that you may have. In terms of your Moodle projects themselves, you should at this point be starting to fill in content on them. You should have the teacher introduction page at the top. You should have the feedback form at the top. Your sections at this point should have names based off of your segmenting work that you did. And just start to fill in whatever content you need. Maybe just start with a page for each section where you can just start to describe what's going to go on in that section or start to put together materials and so on. But seeing as how we are reaching the halfway point, we should be starting to get some work done on those Moodle projects and starting to build those out. All right, that is the overview for this week. Be in touch if you need to, and drop in on Friday if you need to. And other than that, enjoy the week. It looks like the weather is going to be nice and comfortable, so that is good. And I will talk to each of you whenever I talk to you. Thank you very much. Enjoy your week.